Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming to the KetoMo page and watching my new video. This video takes me to heart because this video took a lot of guts to make and took a lot of time to write the script because it is very stressful for me to discuss some of the disadvantages that I had gone through at that young age and these past couple of years of being overweight and being bigger than most. You guys, just to say, I'm very short. I'm about 5'5", so throughout this video you'll understand why that's valuable to know. So one of the first disadvantages I had found of being overweight was clothes. It is very difficult to find clothes that fit a short, stubby person, especially when my waist had reached about 48 in size and my height was only about 28 pants. It made it so difficult to find clothes. Every time I'd buy clothes, my mom would have to cut them down at the bottom, and it just sucked because I internally felt crappy that she had to waste her time to do this for me, where other people around me could just order shoes off or order clothes off of Nike.com and they knew it would fit. So that was a very stressful thing. Besides just the clothes ordering and trying to make them fit, it's also how they would look on me as a bigger person. When it was baggy time, that kind of worked out to my advantage. But as you all know, styles change and you kind of have to try to fit into some of these styles. Well, later on, as I started getting skinnier clothes, it did not look good, and it made me so feel crappy and discouraged and unmotivated. So I'd like to say that one of the biggest disadvantages of being big is clothes are not made to fit you. And now we've seen a lot of those stores popping up that do allow for overweight people to have some of those options, and I'm happy that they're there because everybody should not be wearing clothes and feeling crappy in them. Clothes are supposed to make you feel good, and as you feel good, you tend to do good. So that was one really important fact. The second reason, or the second biggest disadvantage I can think of to being overweight, would have to be traveling. And I don't mean just traveling from downstairs to the top of the house. I mean all sorts of travel. One of my biggest problems I ran into was when I'd go to an amusement park. A lot of times I was not allowed on the ride, and that happens depending on that person's size. That was so discouraging and unmotivating and embarrassing, and I know how hard that can be on some of you. And again, just know that you can change and you can get through it. Besides just amusement parks, it was whenever we'd get in a car, I did get the luxury of usually having front seat because I was so big, and if I was to sit in the back with two other people, they already had less space available. So that was very discouraging, embarrassing, and something to always have to think about. Anytime I'd fly on a plane, anytime I'd get on a bus, I would be self-conscious of who's sitting next to me. They can feel me or they can touch me. And I do want anybody who's feeling that today to know you will be okay and you can make a change, because back then I didn't know that I would be okay and I didn't know if it would ever get better. So I think that's the hardest part of these journeys or about being overweight, is that you think there is no light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm here to tell you that I promise there is, and you can make it through that tunnel. And you will find the right support system, whether it be me or somebody else. You will find somebody there to help you get through that. So that would be my second biggest disadvantage of being overweight. So the first one was clothes, the second one is travel, and I think the third and most important one is I'm going to call mental health, right? So that starts from the inside out. When you are feeling even overweight, you guys, there's people that are not big or overweight that feel that way. So weight doesn't necessarily have to be an actual external physique. It can be an internal feeling. There are people who become anorexic and they are already skinny, and that is a weight discrepancy within the brain. So they would call that a mental health issue. So we all need to be aware that that can happen to just anybody. It doesn't have to be somebody overweight. So we just need to be supportive of the people in those positions, because you don't know what they're going through and you don't know how hard it can be. But mental health was probably the biggest discouragement for me by being overweight. Great example, I'd walk into the lunchroom and you'd hear people laughing, and sometimes you'd get that back voice going, are they laughing at me? Are they making fun of me and my body? Are they shaming me? And that's tough, you guys, because it's not a question you want to ask. It's not a question you want to bring up. You're just better off ignoring it in your head, because that's what I used to do, and I know the pain you would go through with that. So do understand, there is a way out. That you can solve it yourself with or without anybody's help. You just have to push through and endure through the problem. But that was probably the biggest and hardest disadvantage about being overweight. Most people do not understand the mental problems that come with it. And a lot of times it's not our choice to feel that way. It's not our choice to think that way. Back then I'd hear from people that say to me, just get over it. You're big by choice. You'll get over it. And it's like, no, I'm not doing it to get your attention. I'm telling you that this is my problem. And you are not trying to necessarily solve it by attacking it. And if anybody is in that position today, just seek people around you that are looking to help you and not necessarily to cut you down. Because if you are in that position, it is hard to push yourself through without local help. So please don't hesitate to email below, ask any questions, comment below. If you guys have had some of these experiences, share them. I'd love to know what you've gone through like me, and don't ever hesitate to ask for any questions or help. I do know that you can fix any part of your body as long as you put the effort to it, to some limitations, but anybody can do it. If I can do this change and I can fix my body and feel better and do better, I think anybody else can. Thank you so much for visiting the page today and watching this video. This was probably one of the toughest videos I've ever had to make. I needed to get the courage, and I do want to thank some of the subscribers that have emailed me. It just means a lot that you guys care so much, and I'm going to put my effort to putting these videos out there. Anybody new, please don't hesitate to subscribe below. Email me with any questions, any video ideas. You guys comment them below. This is all new to me. I just want to do a good job and show you guys that I care, just like somebody was there to care for me. Thank you guys so much for visiting my page. Have a wonderful day.